So let's talk about what's going out in the Matanuska Valley in real estate for a market update for January 2023. Week two, we saw that there were quite a few properties on the market. There were 281 single-family residences on the market. However, 198 homes under contract. So if you're wondering, is it a hot market out in the valley? Yes, there are a lot of properties on the market, but buyers are definitely buying out in the valley. For condos and townhouses, we don't have a ton of condos and townhouses out in the Matanuska Valley. We had 3 active listings, 1 under contract. As you can see by vacant land, we do have a lot more vacant land for sale in the Matanuska Valley than we actually have anywhere else in the places that I do market updates for. There's 511 active listings right now. That's definitely triple what we've got going on in Anchorage and Eagle River. Multifamily, we do have multifamily properties out in the valley, and we had 30 of them active second week of January, 25 under contract. Now let's see what changed week 3. Week 3, as you can see in single family residences, we went up from 188 under contract to 215. So if you're a seller, you're thinking, in 1 week, that many buyers were out buying properties. Yes, that's true. You can also see with multifamily that we definitely are neck to neck with active listings under contract. Now let's take a peek at week 4. Week 4, 271 homes active on the market in the Matanuska Valley, 220 under contract. Multifamily active listings, 27 listings and 23 under contract. You'll also notice that the number started changing with sold listings. We actually started recording sold. So from week 2 to week 4, we definitely are seeing more properties that went under contract actually closing and buyers and sellers transferring keys. So is it a hot seller's market in the Matanuska Valley? It's definitely not as hot as it is in Anchorage and Eagle River. However, did you know that 8 homes in the United States sell every minute? So it's still a phenomenal market in real estate, no matter where we live. What's really happening with home prices? I don't know about you, but when I'm driving to and from Anchorage, I listen to different radio stations, and sometimes I'm just so super confused as to what the news is really telling us. If we look at what's happened over the past few years in terms of appreciation, the one thing that has always been true about the Matanuska Valley is we've never seen a decrease in appreciation. We've always seen a steady appreciation between 3 to 5%. Obviously, during the pandemic, some of your neighbors ended up selling their homes for 25% more equity than they ever thought possible. Definitely was a crazy time in the market. Right now, we're seeing anywhere from 5.9 to 10% equity year over year. So if you bought a home last year, just by making your mortgage payments, just by living in your home, you've actually gained equity in your property. This can be a really positive thing. So again, not seeing us back down to the normal levels of standard appreciation, which has always been between 3 and 5% in the Matanuska Valley. We're seeing closer to 10% right now. I put together a things to consider when selling your house winter edition booklet. So if you're thinking about selling in winter, it is a little bit different than selling in the summer. There's some things that you got to consider. You can just email me, request a copy of it. I'll stick it in the mail to you. If you want an email copy version, I have that also. Now, I have a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, the bubble, especially when I listen to the news. The bubble, the bubble, the bubble. There's not going to be a housing bubble. After the mortgage meltdown, mortgage lenders were required to create higher lending standards, and they're tight. We call it the pendulum. Pre-mortgage meltdown, the pendulum was swung way over here. All you had to do was basically be breathing and provide some kind of income statement. Post-mortgage meltdown, lending standards became super duper tight. Guess what? They're still tight. They didn't loosen even when mortgage interest rates went down and even when we were in the pandemic. It did not, lending standards didn't loosen. They're still super tight, even today in today's market. So we're not going to see that housing bubble because mortgage lenders didn't make loans to people that couldn't afford their homes. You might see some foreclosures coming on the market, but we also have to all remember that for 2.5 years, the courthouses were closed down and foreclosures were not allowed. So we have a backup of what should have been happening over the last 2.5 years. So yes, you're going to see some foreclosures come on the market, but they're old foreclosures. They're not new. Now let's talk about interest rates. Every few months, I do post this chart. This information is provided by Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, two government entities, the Mortgage Banking Association and the National Association of Realtors. They give an estimate based on all their data and statistics and all their housing inventory lists and economic feedback on what they think interest rates are going to be over the next year. So as you can see, we started the year around 6.35%. Now, for some of you, you might go, oh, that's horrible. If you're renting, you're paying 100%, 100% interest. So 6.35% sounds pretty good, right? So if you're thinking about buying, interest rates are still great. You just need to talk to a lender. If you're buying out in the Matanuska Valley, you can actually do the USDA RD zero down loan. We also have the VA home loan out there, zero down. HUD 184 home loans, Alaska Native and American Indian at 2.25% down. Alaska Housing does conventional loans out in the valley all day long at 3% down. So again, if you're thinking about making a move, let's have a chat. If you've never bought a home before, I did put together a book called Simplifying Your First Home Purchase. It's a book that I can mail to you. It's a book, paper copy. It's a paperback, or I can actually send it to you in a Kindle-ish type version where you can actually read it online. It's a great book. Many of my first-time home buyers just have loved it because it does go over all the things that maybe you haven't really thought about when you're making your first home purchase. And it will guide you through that whole process. All you need to do is just email me. I do respond to my emails. I do answer my phone. I live, work, and sell real estate right here in the Anchorage, Eagle River, Mat-Su Valley. I sell property all the way up to Talkeetna and all the way down to the Kenai Peninsula. So give me a jingle if you have any questions, and I hope you have a great year.